Okay, so should do it like this, okay. Hi guys, this is Gunther speaking from Pax Europiana, my podcast channel. Thanks a lot for following me, and I call for regime change of Iran. It's now a decisive moment in history. The American armada is there, the president has made his ultimatum. Decisive military power will be used to remove the Iranian terror regime, which since 47 years has tortured their own people and killed so many, 40,000 just in this year, 2026. And the mullahs must go. He must go now, and American justice must prevail, and the people of Iran must be liberated. And this will be a decisive moment in world history, where after this really terrible time when Putin basically and Iran dominated world affairs for under Obama, and during the time of our weakness during Biden, now the time of American and European power is coming. Because European this time, similar, also contrary to what we have done tragically during the Iraq war, must stand with the Americans and actually support Iran's regime change and use this window of opportunity to opens now. It must be to liberate Crimea and Donbass. So what we need to do now is not to stand aside and whatever wait or criticize the American military action, call about the international law or something like this, all this nonsense which we have done during the time in Venezuela, but we must fully support the regime change in Iran and use this opportunity to regime change as well in the occupation regime in Donbass and in needs. And we need give Ukraine as well the financial and political backing it needs, but also the weapons Ukraine needs for the liberation and also the intelligence cooperation. We have started already with the 90 billion in December 2025. Now we need more money for Ukraine. And of course, we need the political backing. The clear strategic aim is Ukraine to win, and Ukraine to win 100% for full liberation. And so this huge double pincer movement, the Europeans helping Ukraine to liberate Crimea, the Americans liberating Iran, the key ally of the axis of evil, this will break the Russian alliance, this will break Russia, and this will make us the winner in this confrontation, in this war. And this is what we need to do right now, and we need to do it fast. We need to get ready because the Armada is ready. Where is the Europeans ready? We need to move massive European armament equipment towards Ukraine. Stop the trickling down kind of nonsense, but go full in. This is what we need to do, and this is what we are going to do if we are reasonable. Yes, so this is the opportunity to win and to make a real lasting change. And there will be, of course, a post-Iran government, hopefully under the Shah. He seems to be the best option. And of course, we can then also move forward towards the question. I get some hello, yes. Thanks a lot, everybody. If you're joining my live chat, this is actually a premiere for me. I've not done a live chat on YouTube going live. I've done several now on TikTok, and I have been several doing as well in other medias, but on X I have done a lot. But I have decided, in X I have reached 140,000 followers. This is a very good number, I think so. It's not millions, but we are getting there. The competition now in Austria, the top analysts here and activists have 200,000. So there's only Sebastian Kurz with 450,000 and the Austrian state president. So for the Austrian situation, I'm good with 140,000, and I want to get similar numbers in TikTok and in YouTube. And what I will do is simply more activities on TikTok and YouTube, because maybe I always overflood anybody on X anyhow, and not everybody is on X. So I want to increase. And this is very good. I see some occupy Greenland. That was just a deflection. It was also very good for me because my videos went viral in the US and I'm much more famous now. Thank you very much, Mr. Trump. But he never had the intention to occupy Greenland. He thought it will be presented to him, and that was also not realistic. And ultimately, it was just a gigantic deflection during the preparations for the Iran liberation, and that's exactly what is going on at the moment. Greenland will stay ours, but militarily the Americans can use it, and also the minerals must be exploited. We cannot be held hostage by 60,000 Greenland Eskimos who are basically saying no to uranium and whatever kind of materials there are, because Greenlanders have left the European Union because they didn't want our EU fishery policy. I mean, you get the point. This is absolutely wrong. And so we must be much more clear to our Greenlandic friends. And I've campaigned already for Greenland to adopt the euro, to join European Union fully, to adopt also the fishery law. That will be also the consequences. We have to a little bit address the Greenlanders as well, because I think they are a little bit nutty in the north. I have to say, the whole thing is Greenlanders don't want to be in the EU, Norway doesn't want to be in the EU, Iceland doesn't want to be in the EU, the UK doesn't want to be in the EU, and we in Austria, Germany have all the task of saving the world. Thank you very much. You can share the burden financially, politically, and you can also participate and join, and this will be the outcome. I think absolutely every fool has understood we need to have more unity and an enlarged European Union and NATO, and that's what I'm campaigning now since years. Now it's going to happen, and also for the trade agreements, you see how we are getting in the hyperdrive. It's, if necessary, the India deal, the Mercosur deal, all these things are going to happen, and Kosovo and Albania, of course, is already in NATO, and Albania will join the EU as together with Montenegro, and Serbia will be isolated as a Russian proxy, and that will be so good. Yes, I will do more of these lives here as well if this is successful and interesting for you. Normally I've just done videos, but now I've released already 2 videos, and I'm a bit old for being a live streamer, I think, but I'm ready to learn that as well, and also to go on Riverside. But now I think there's some reaction. You can increase the following towards a decent level, because I want to have this 100,000 in all platforms, also on TikTok and also on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. That's my level in all the platforms, and also on YouTube. Here I'm already 16,000, so the task is now to get to 20,000 step by step, but the whole idea is based 100,000. That seems the present level of achievement, and I see then I get also better guests for my podcast, which is my main project at the moment. I have made 50 podcasts with interesting Austrian and European and American personalities. If you want, you can, and you have something interesting to say, you can always then contact me as well, and we arrange a recording and we will publish it. I have 2 more coming up with, it's all in Austrian and German language. We speak German language, and we have that one coming up, dropping on my podcast. As Austrian, I decided to work in German language. In many of the podcasts, of course, are more interesting in English, but that is the reality of my life here from Vienna, the voice of the free world. And I also will do a voice for 4, because some of you are interested in that one, but we now need a new office and to change a little bit for the next level of activities, our preparations, and we will find that, and it will come out, and it will be very good, and you will watch this in this podcast and on this channel. If you follow me, you like me, you can support me on Patreon, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee, and you can also join the NATO Enlargement Council. It's a website and the Austrian NGO, natoenlargement.org. You can also contact me on fehlinger.net. You can also then subscribe me on X. That's the most easy way to send me 1 or 2 euros or 3 euros, I think it's now, dollars per month, and also support our aims, because we also have production costs now. We are much more professional in our development. We will have a new office. We have a team now, and I'm very grateful for them. And we are going live now more regularly, and I will spend much more of my time not to do business consulting, development consulting, but to be the most famous conservative influencer and YouTuber here in Austria and in the European Union step by step. Suggestions: limit, block Russian influence and Putin's servants like Orban, Fico. Yeah, I have many proposals. Yeah, we win the war in Hungary and the Hungarian problem is solved in April by a victory of Peter Magyar. I will also support him and endorse him very much. Babis, yeah, it was a problem, and there's always an up and down, but he is checked by the president in Czech Republic. And of course, with the AfD and the ÖFÖ, yes, you expose them as Russian agents. Yeah? And you tell the population that they are the Russians, they are the traitors. They are not patriots, but traitors. And that's the most effective way to manage exactly that. The fire rises will come. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, I've not forgotten about you. I'm a friend of the Kurds, yes, and I call for the independence of Rojava. I will be, that is very much the plan. And we will also ex-Syria. And Fehlinger Doctrine, the book I prepare, is also coming up, and it will be interesting. Countries that big countries like Nigeria, Congo, Syria will be dismantled. India has now been very lucky because they joined our trading system, so I will no longer campaign for ex-India, because they have joined our system, and BRICS will be dismantled accordingly, and that's very good. Can we help Sweden, Austria being neutral and free nation again? Yes, what I can of course offer is that Sweden joins the Eurozone. That's a very good idea, and I'm very happy about you joining the Eurozone. I will intensify, and then we also have Austria in NATO, and that's the whole idea, everybody in NATO, everybody in the EU, everybody in the Euro. And that is what we need to do. And that's what we're going to do. And Friends of the Kurds, I'm happy to be called like this. Yeah, was my big activity days to be Friends of the Kurds. And that was on Tuesday. And I call for the liberation and defense of Kobane. That's the city where the IS called Al-Shara and the Turks want to kill the Kurds. That may not happen. And I'm happy Lindsey Graham is very active. Yeah. I really like him. He should be the foreign minister and not Rubio, because Lindsay is really up to the task. Rubio, not so much, and JD, I don't like him. So the situation is ongoing, and we can, of course, move in that direction, and that's what I want. Cheers from Vienna. The free world is winning. Yeah, good. That was my first one here, and I thank you very much. I will go now to some meetings in Austria, and I will be back regularly now to live stream as well here on YouTube. Now I know how it works. I will do also TikTok, and I will go continuously be very active here on this platform, as you know. Thank you very much for subscribing me. Bye from Vienna. Very good. Thank you.